Hello hobbyists. So this is a very special package. It should be my ticket to Momocon. All right. Check that out. Very exciting. Let's see what their lanyard is. Oh, that's cool. Monsters we make. Is this an anime or is this the characters on the kind of looks like them? Well, I've never heard of that before, unless it's just their theme of so many of these cons have like mascots. Let's see. So this is just like convention hours and such. I'm hoping to get some footage while I'm there. Just, I don't know, not like a vloggy thing, I guess, but maybe a little bit. I've never been to Momocon before, and they're having their first Wonderfest, and it's very exciting, and that's why I'm going. So that's my intro. We're gonna have 4 full days at Momocon, which was cheaper than Otakon this year, which is wild to me. And they have 4 whole days instead of like 3. Well, when it's 3 or 4, it's usually like 2.5 and 3.5. But this is more for the price. So I don't know what else to say. This is great. I cannot wait. Oh good, they don't make it like crazy hard to put on. But this is gonna be very soon, a couple of weeks, and I'll be in Atlanta at Momocon. So you'll see this video afterwards, probably, obviously. But this is very exciting. So I got my badge. We're ready to go. I'll see you there. All right, so I went through Reagan Airport this time. And I guess depending on what flight you're taking, you have to go down like this long, scary hallway. I mean, it's got, you know, what do you call it? It's got like little exhibits of the history of the area and aerospace stuff, but it's still nonetheless a little unsettling. There's usually nobody in there. I even heard some people coming in behind me mention that it was like the back rooms, which I guess would be true. There's no creatures. It's just like an unsettling space. Not exactly liminal since it's like lived in, but it goes on for quite a while. It's at least like a 3 to 5 minute walk. And depending on how far you started in the airport, it can be longer. How far away anyways. So that was kind of interesting. So I guess if you ever go to Reagan, I don't know, the signage was a bit weird. Like, all boarding gates are for one place except for this one boarding gate, so you just get stuck walking through this really weird tunnel. With almost, like, there's plenty of signage, but it's kind of like, it doesn't explain that you're going through security at the very end. So I was concerned that I was just kind of skipping past security. Luckily, that was not the case, and I didn't have to go all the way back to go through security. Still very, very odd. But yeah, it was supposed to be a pretty short flight. You know, honestly, I kind of just sat there, but we got some we got some aerial footage of the Pentagon. I didn't really expect that. I was like, oh yeah, it's right there. That's kind of funny. And I don't know why this stood out to me. There's just somebody, you know, dropped a gummy bear and it ended up at the very front.
Please stand back from the platform edge. Allow passengers to exit the vehicle before boarding.
What's really cool about Atlanta is that they have the MARTA, and that's a metro train that comes in right at the airport. You can take it to the hotel block that's at the Georgia World Congress Center or Congressional Center. So that's actually quite useful. My first day, I kind of got there like super early. Didn't really know what to do. I dropped off my luggage and I was just kind of looking around. I came across this one America Mart and I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to go in. And it's just kind of like, it's not even really a shopping center. There's just got like, it seems like they sort of have, it's sort of like Artist Alley. Like they'll have a bunch of vendors in some place. And I felt like I was really out of place. So I kind of, I went through and I left pretty quickly. But it seems like, the typical artist you would find in Artist Alley would, show up there sometimes. After this, I was just kind of looking for something to eat. I found this like little convenience store. It seems to close early, but I was looking for a comb and just something to munch on. They had everything I needed. I got a comb, I got, some lotion, I got myself a little drink, and I was ecstatic to see they had such a great variety of drinks. And they even had like a rice ball. Like I got the bulgogi because, why not? And they covered it in freaking Minions stickers. I was like, this is hilarious. It was very tasty. If you end up in the hotel block, I recommend going and getting yourself a rice ball. They were very nice. The people working there, they made my rice ball. They seemed a little confused. I don't know why. Maybe it was the way I asked for it. But, they even had honey butter chips and stuff. And after that, I was just kind of looking for something else to do. I went to go get an ice cream at the mall, and it was pouring rain. Oh my gosh, pouring. My mom said that's unusual rain this much there. Like, we used to live there. I was born there. But she was like, that's weird. And it rained like the entire time I was there. And at the first day, I was just kind of waiting for it to start. So I went to go eat something to eat at the same mall. It wasn't, raining immediately this time. I went back to the hotel and I watched some anime. You can just like project onto the TV, which is really cool. And I'm inserting like the walk cycle into this just because, I'm trying to show you it's really easy. You can just like walk 10 minutes. It's really not that difficult, especially if you sort of speed walk a little bit. The only day I took the bus, and they were terrible at labeling the bus. They didn't know where to put the Momocon shuttle sign anywhere, and it was so confusing. There was also a parade on Saturday, so they had to move the bus. So suffice it to say, catching the shuttle was a little bit difficult. It was almost just easier to walk there, especially one of the days they had a bunch of construction, so the shuttle took like twice as long to actually get to the convention center. It's really easy to walk there. A little steep at some points. You might want to take the shuttle back, but just getting there, really simple, really easy. You can walk through it's the Olympic Park. They had the Olympics here one year. The park it's cute. It's a cute little park. It's got the Olympic torches and stuff. Memorial fountain and that kind of thing. You're gonna walk past the aquarium as well and several, eateries. But going through the park was gonna make it the easiest way to get to the Congress Center. Check the weather before you go. I don't know why I didn't. I bought a poncho. As you get closer to the Congress Center, like any good convention, the costumes start filtering in. You're going to start seeing people dressed up. So it's kind of an exciting lead up to the convention. And there's several entrances to the convention because they've got A Hall and B Hall. You could go through the Omni Hotel if you wanted to as well. Entering either one is probably fine. I mean, they're connected. I will say all of those damn Lime scooters just like always in the way. I freaking hate those. But anyways, there's also like a ton of cool like artsy stuff, just like painted. They were actually working on the painting during the time that the convention was going on, uh, like literally people were on ladders. This one's like unfinished. That's the one they were painting, which I think was really funny because unpainted is sort of like half realistic, half cartoon. So, welcome to Momocon. This was very exciting. The first day I wanted to go into the exhibit hall and check out Wonder Festival. So as you can see, they had all of these guys from Kyoto bring in their designs or their finished pieces and have them displayed. I was able to get footage before they put up all these big velvet ropes. I'm guessing people started to touch them. But this, you could get up close and get some really good footage. And the artist, one of the artists, was even there handing out the TCG card for Wonder Festival. I ended up with two. They really mishandled the TCG card event, I think. But as you can see, they had some very lovely figures up for display. There were a couple of Wonderfest panels. If you don't know about Kyoto, they started Wonder Festival. They are responsible for the Revoltech figure line, which is a figure line of figures that can sort of only do action poses. One of the directors or CEOs, he mentioned, we worked really hard on making these make really extreme action poses, but you can't make them make relaxed poses. But these guys, they wanted to bring Garage Kit Festival to America, and they chose Momocon because apparently they had been before and they really, really liked it. I've seen people complain or say, when is this coming to California? And what a bold and horrible statement. Because California gets every exhibit from Japan just because it's the closest place. If they liked Momocon, let them come into Momocon. Of course, they had other vendors that do like kits. So these guys, obviously, they could car kits, they do some posable figure kits, and they do Gundam. I did end up buying the cat, that's the cow many. I think that's the breed of cat. It's like some sort of rare white cat with heterochromia. Like, what is this stuff? You know what I mean. It helps you make the kits. But I did not buy it. I think I will figure it out. Of course, the actual displays, they had an Edelgard. I really wanted her, but unfortunately, this American Garage Kit Fest, no one's really selling garage kits, even though that's the entire point of Wonder Festival. The vendor we're looking at now, they did sell two kits, but they were only for VTubers. And as much as I respect the hustle, I'm not a VTuber fan. So although cute, I'm like, I'm not going to buy that because I'm not a fan. And somebody else, will come along and buy it and they'll probably be a fan. I don't want to keep anybody from getting the kit they want. I was really psyched to see some Etrian Odyssey. There's some Madoka. They had, I saw some people, they put a little Delicious in Dungeon there. There's like some really, really cool builds, but people were mostly coming off to show that they know how to build a garage kit and not that they design the kits. Here's some of the Kyoto guys. And I love that little green dragon. It was so cute. I like this weird cat thing too. So I was very excited to look at all the garage kits, although I was so sad I didn't really get to. I bought one. I only bought one. Of course, For You had their setup here. I did buy that Hanako. I was looking for that Hanako. Perfect time, good price. Kotobukiya is here. Not really a fan of the standing Trigun figures. I want them in action. But they had, Blue Eyes White Dragon, the other stuff, some Yu-Gi-Oh! Got some free Ren. It's nice to just see them, selling. And of course, we have Revoltech because Kyoto is here for Wonderfest. I got to play with these guys because they had them just, sacrifice to the public. You can play with these. And they did have some for sale, yeah. I didn't buy any of the kits. I should have bought at least like the Akira kit. They had 4 of them. They're tiny little guys. I don't know if you actually have to paint these or if you just sand them down and put them together. Of course, they also had the car show. So I'm not a car guy, but it's worth just going to look at this, sort of artistic expression. This one was probably like the best design one. I still didn't vote for it because I was like, oh, I like the I like the little car with my favorite anime character on it, right? But I admire all of these. These are great wraps. I think very cute to go look at. So they got the Jolene car. I like how they're putting like anime figures and stuff in the front window. I was looking all over for the TCG card for this, and I couldn't find it. But the Mitsuri car I voted for, even though I'm like, it's not the best design one. But I love her. Go Kenroji. So we have the cute little pink flowers and stuff. And of course, they got Cinema Roll. They got, what's her face? The dark, scary one. Why am I saying it like that? The My Melody. Oh, Kuromi. That's what, of course. They got a car for everything back here. I think they even had like a Star Wars display right behind the cars. Please do not defend that tie. Oh my god. You see some really hilarious stuff back here. They like hilariously have a tiny section for Star Wars for some reason, and right next to the cars. But we got this cool Phoenix Wright car. Supreme Attorney. I wonder if they're trying to, escape, what do you call it, copyright claims? But yeah, here's one of the Wonderfest panels. He mostly just went on about, the beginning of it and that kind of thing. And then, of course, after this was the Cartoon Smasher Pass. The line was, well, as you can see.
Okay, so we encourage audience participation. So the way this works, we're trying to evolve with the time for this panel. We'll pull up one of our selections. The panelists will go first, smash or pass. And then we want the audience, we'll go audience, smash or pass. Smash, yay! Pass. Let's try it right here. Smash, yay! Pass. There we go. Okay, but occasionally we have some impassioned individuals who are the champions of democracy who go, wait, hear me out. This is the hear me out stick. All right, yeah, right, okay. So if there is a selection that we, as the panelists, and also as the audience are gonna pass, we'll offer this occasional veto power. And then Matt, we'll take a microphone to you, and we'll make a case for 30 seconds, okay? We cannot overuse this power, all right?
And for anybody who's in the audience, whenever it's your turn to come up to talk, you're just gonna come right up here, and I'm gonna hold the mic up, and you're gonna make your piece, all right?
You like that?
Good.
Hear me out? All right, very good. All right. Go on. No.
I like them. I think you'd show me a good time. I'm gonna say Smash.
It's so sassy. Smash.
I don't know. I need some hair to grab, and it might burn my fingers.
Oh! His head game is fire.
Of course, the arcade hall, pretty cool. I had fun here with some random people, and then I really, I wanted to go to this panel. It was a little unprofessional, but a lot of them are, maybe do some more research next time. And of course at night, it's just kind of like a party. So I went home real late, came back the next day, of course, for day 2. So I was prepped and primed to go to some panels. The one I wanted to see was the ball jointed panel because I'm getting into collecting those. So, the presenter has really, inspired me to go ahead and try to tighten some elastic on one of my dolls. And I'm a little scared, but you know what? I'm going to give it a go. And of course, we're ready. It's for the Friday cosplay showcase. I went and signed up around this time. I took some pictures of myself. So we'll see the end result of that later. Unfortunately, they didn't post any footage. And after this, I really wanted to go to the AMV's 101 panel. I want to learn how to make those for my channel. I think that's so fun. So they were just kind of like, here, you can get some material here or there. But they had some good tips. So I'm excited to try to get started. I've been editing some videos. Why can't I do it? Pretty sure it wouldn't be that hard for me. I got bored at this one and left because people kept asking industry questions. And then there was a monster menu panel where they talked about cooking monsters into meals. They didn't mention any Dungeon Meshy stuff or anything else, which is cool. I went to this yarn panel I was interested in, but I had very little time before I had to go to the cosplay showcase. So I went and I got up there. No yarn wigs for me. Maybe I'll try it out at some point though. I probably could have gone to the Dungeon Meshy picture meetup, but I got nervous and I stayed up here with all the cosplayers instead. Maybe a bad move on my part. I will try again next time.
Look at everything. Screen accuracy, second place. Thank you. We have Harry!
It was really fun and cool to be up there, but I'm so sad. It's the one year they've never posted any footage of the Friday cosplay showcase. I really wanted to see everybody else walk. These two were my favorite, obviously. I love Devil May Cry. Gosh, I think they're just super cool, and they did a whole sword thing and I didn't get to see it. I was at the back of the line. I did manage to snag a photo with these two. I felt like such a dork. And I am a dork. It's my bad, what am I supposed to do about that? But I'm so disappointed they didn't, I really wanted to watch everybody walk. After it, I was oh, they'll just post the video and I'll just see everybody go up. But no, they didn't. I was really sad. Momocon, get your crap together. I went to go see people beat each other up after this, by the way. And then I went downstairs and I was like, why don't I do this?
2. $12. Much better.
And of course, day 3. Went to a panel where Saber Spark was watching some bad movies. I love him. He's cool. And there's tons of games you can play down here. I love that one. And they were handing out some Yakult. I love Yakult. They got tons of setups for fashion and stuff, and a little place to chill by the Coca-Cola chair, because there's a Coca-Cola museum right next door. And of course, my favorite Dr. Stone character. These guys, I don't know if they were if they knew each other or what, but they lined up and real cute. Of course, these are most of the TCG cards I got. Oh man. Of course, Mononoke is one of my favorite sort of obscure, weird animes. And I got in there just in time to hear most of it. She was really cool. She told me where to get some Mononoke merch downstairs in the artist alley. I love that anime. And back to the Kyoto guys.
In the United States. Yeah, we want to expand that kind of like culture here in the States, so please support us.
I met some cool people at that panel, and then accidentally stayed for the next one. But next day I'm down in the exhibit hall looking at everybody's work. I really admire people who can actually put kits together. I'm gonna learn how to do it. I bought a few kits to try it. Only one garage kit though. And the cow money kit I already talked about. I put the kitty together. Maybe I'll make her some clothes. She can be a little fashion model. I'm very excited about that. But everybody else, putting together these really cool Gundam kits. They've got anything you could ask for. And you don't even have to use just the plastic parts. This guy has like a little poncho thing going on. So really cool stuff from the builders over here. There's way more than I got footage of. That's the one that they brought with them to the con that they were selling, the duck one, I think. But yeah, I think this was like for a competition. Me, I'm just like happy to look at them. Anyways, this goes on for a while. And I stumbled across a booth that literally that's close to where I live. That's come on, guys. And this is kind of my last chance to get some Georgia barbecue. A little bit dry, but their sides were excellent. No complaints. And of course, day 5, nothing to do. I should have just left the night of day 4. But I got myself into the Georgia Aquarium. A little expensive, but they're a non-profit. So the sharks were really cool. I think their sharks are kind of part of their whole thing, because they have like one of the biggest tanks in the world. They used to be the biggest aquarium in the world, but they are no longer the biggest aquarium. They have an entire whale shark. So they have to have a lot of water, really huge tank for that. I didn't get any footage of the whale shark. I did witness the whale shark. Very cool. I guess if you get the chance, you come here. Your money goes to a good place, goes to the fish.
This habitat's big enough to lose a whale shark and 3 manta rays in.
Anyone's wondering where the whale shark is? More than 50 yards away. He's somewhere on that other side, and eventually he'll make his way over this way. But until then, let's talk about manta rays.
Momocon, please post your video footage. Why is it the one year I went, you didn't post any video footage of the cosplay contests? Nor, like, not the craftsman one, not the casual one. Seriously, I want to watch. But Momocon was, I thought they had a good variety of things going on. I think by day 4 I was pretty exhausted, but, I spent way too much of day 4 looking at Pokemon cards. That was a mistake. Don't do that. Although it was really fun looking through the dollar bins with other people and hey, you want this Porygon? They were like, oh yeah, do you want this Cubone? Just getting stuff for each other. It's very communal. I've seen people say it was lackluster this year. I think when you get a convention that gets this big, it gets harder for organizers. Maybe that's why they didn't post the footage this year. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just they were not maybe organized this year. I think the signs for the shuttle kind of in the wrong place. Definitely the fact that they were not posting the video footage of the contests. I also saw a tram and it had DC on it. I'm like, I just came from there. Leave me alone. But I got home, saw my cat. Well, anyways, I had a good time besides all that rain, and I got way too much. Don't tell anybody. I had to get a Momocon shirt. I don't always get a convention shirt, but it was my first Momocon, maybe my only Momocon. I got a bunch of figures I wanted. Not enough garage kits they were selling, I will say. Hopefully next year a little bit better, but they had some great video game vendors, great artists. I'm glad to get out of state and see some new artists. I don't know. I thought the pickings were pretty good. Would I give an A+? Maybe not, but I think maybe if you aren't into all of the hobbies related to anime watching, I think maybe you're gonna have a bad time. The thing is, and they have a lot of random stuff in the background. Maybe they should make more public. I think that's always a complaint, is just the organization. Any convention is going to have that issue. Signage, whether it's signage or whether it's disclosure of information of different events, they're always going to, there's always going to be something. Don't be afraid to, ask people what's going on, what would you recommend? I think, they really mishandled the TCG card event. As I said, they were giving out, I think 33 altogether. I think only 32 were available because one order of the cards got entirely lost. They could not find it. It was gone. So people couldn't even complete a set. And they didn't tell anybody, if you get 10 individual unique cards, you can actually get a prize, which is a card box. I forget what exactly they call that, and a coin, which usually you would get with a TCG set. So a card case and a coin, and I didn't know about that at all. I got 7 cards, so I was really close. I would have loved to have done that. I thought the entire thing was just collect the cards and that's your prize. I didn't know there was an end prize. Next time they could really handle something like that better. It seems like it was some sort of... It sounds like someone did it at the last second, really. And that's to some degree okay. But also with the lack of streaming the cosplay contests, that was, unfortunate. So I don't know, maybe I'd give Momocon a B- or something. I think a lot went awry there, but there was plenty of stuff going on. They always had anime showings. If you had nothing else to do, they always had the AMV showings up. So I would go to both of those. I definitely learned about some cool animes to watch, and I think that's part of the reason for a convention. Go talk to people and learn what conventions are good. I mean, not conventions. Go learn what animes are good. go learn who's selling what downstairs, what games you want to play. There were some really fun things. Somebody joined me for a game of like competitive Tetris at the arcade, which was really fun. I did get yelled at because someone didn't section off their arcade tournament. They didn't put up any signs, and I went up to the arcade machine and they yelled at me. And I was like, you know, what the heck, dude? Get some velvet rope. You can ask the convention center to give you some things to section off your event. You're also not in the tournament area. You're strictly in the arcade area. Please section off your event and label it. Don't just leave it open for people to walk in and try to play your arcade tournament. Like, yeah, I get that you're there to warn people, but, you know, first of all, you're being mean. You're yelling. And you didn't do anything to section off this area or label it at all. So there was, you know, pros and cons, but that's kind of always the issue with these huge events is, you know, the organization gets a little bit like, if this all goes well, it's miraculous. But, you know, I met some cool people, talked about some cool things, exchanged infos, like, with other people who, like, talk like dolls, or they like video games or something. So I met some cool people. I thought it was just, like, you know, it's a fun convention. I'm like, it's funny people would call it lackluster, because I'm like, what's different, you know, compared to, I don't know, Otakon that I usually go to. And then there's no convention like Anime Expo, just because it's the closest to Japan and the biggest, and honestly, I don't even want to say the most horrendous, but as far as crowd control goes, really bad. I would say Momocon's crowd control could have been a little better. You know, where the heck does a line start? Where does it end? That would have been nice. So yeah, C+, B-. But I had a lot of fun. I think you should always go with the intent of having fun, no matter what the organization is like. I don't know. I had fun at Momocon. Sue me, I guess. And I don't know if I'll go next year. It seems like the Kyoto guys are intent on having Wonder Festival there at Momocon. They might expand to other areas. If they do, you know, I don't know. I might give it a few years. I definitely wanted to be there for the first one, just to say I was there and I bought a garage kit. But it seemed like people were more intent in displaying their work as garage kit. I don't know what to call them. Kit builders, yeah. They wanted to display their work as kit builders instead of as garage kit designers. And that was, you know, that was a shame. That was a real shame. I would have liked to have bought more than one kit. I bought this cute little kit from a guy who had a booth from Japan, and you know, he seemed to understand the assignment. Everybody else just showing off that they know how to build a garage kit, not that they know how to design one. But yeah, kind of disappointing there. But the rest of the convention was really fun. I'm not even sure I'll go to Otakon this year unless they pick me as a panelist. But hey, if I get announced as a panelist, I'll see you there. See me at Otakon. Come see me. Say hi. I'll probably have a friend there to digitize the whole thing so I can post online if I do get my panel. If I don't get my panel, oh well. You know, maybe I won't go this year. Momocon was more than enough this year. I was walking all day. I don't think I slept that much. But yeah, that was my experience at Momocon. You know, I think there was plenty to do. If there's a lot of stuff, if you only like one thing, I'm not sure you'll have fun all 4 days. You know, just choose one. But you know, I hope this was sort of informative for people. And of course, if you have nothing else, the aquarium is there. Okay. Well, I don't know if I'll do a vlog like this again, but I had a good time. And you'll probably, you know, you'll go see my next video about what I actually got at the convention. I'll just do a separate thing on that. I'm not going to do that here. So yeah, go see that video next. if it's available. Probably not for a week. But yeah, I hope this helps somebody. See you guys.